Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. Today, we're going to talk about the law of vibration. Most of you know it as the law of attraction. It's the same thing. The very most important thing that you need to know about this law is that everything has a vibration. Like, seriously, everything has a vibration. And the other really most important thing that you need to know, probably even more most important because that's good grammar, the most important thing that you really need to know is that everything you are experiencing in your life, you have that vibration inside of you. You're vibrating in harmony with the life that you are living right now. The law of vibration says so. So what it is I've talked about the tuning fork. That when you hit a tuning fork with a C, if there is another C somewhere in the room, it will start vibrating in that as well, whereas the others will all stay quiet. It goes, kind of brings to life and attracts to it. That's where the law of attraction comes. Everything that's vibrating in that note. So, and whatever we're vibrating at, we're sending out that vibration in our lives. We could have areas in our lives where we're vibrating really high and really happy and we're doing amazing. We could have other areas where we're vibrating lower and having a hard time. If you are having negative experiences, remembering that and nothing is good or bad until you put that label on it, it's how you observe it. But if you have experiences that you don't care for, that you don't like, that means that something inside of you is vibrating in that way. And that's why you're experiencing it. That is truly what the law of vibration is. So what do we do about it? Well, emotions is really awesome. The very first thing you've got to do is decide what you want your life to look like. What is it that you do want so that how to change your vibration. Do you want to have a bigger house or a clean house? Do you want to have a new car? Do you want to have more money? Do you want to have better relationships? You've got to know what you want before you can create it. That's the very first step. Yes. Okay. I'm good. I'm just going to ignore it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so you got to know what you want before you can create it. And then you got to know how it feels. How would it feel if you had that? And then you create that feeling now. You have to have that feeling now because that's how you're changing your vibration. That's the number one way to change your vibration. I wanted to share a couple of things from this book. I was debating about whether to wear my glasses, but I think I will because it will definitely help me see. Okay. The physical counterpart of your collection of non-physical ideas has a specific vibration that distinguishes it from anything else. Say that 10 times fast. Huh? Can't even say it one time fast. The physical counterpart of your collection of non-physical ideas. Let's start with that. So you have an idea, you have this dream or this vision of what you want to have. It's in idea state, right? You want to bring it into the physical. And there is a physical counterpart somewhere in the world, or it will be created somewhere in the world, like, because your house may not be built yet. But in order to create it physically, somewhere out there is a physical manifestation of that. So someone out there has got the skills that will make it to happen. Or however, if you're building a new house, someone has the skills, the materials already exist, everything's there, it just gets to create into form. So there's already physical forms of it. Like a lot of us, we want to create money. Money already exists. It's there. We just aren't vibrating with it or we would have it. And they all have a specific vibration. So our ideal relationship, it has a specific vibration. And when we get ourselves to that vibration, that's when that thing physically shows up for you. It has to. Okay. And like I'm gonna share this quote as well. By it says it's by Alan, but I don't know who that actually is unless I find where the references are. Found the index, summary, the challenge. Maybe the index will have us. I don't know. The last name is Allen, but I'm not. I'm guessing it's James Allen that she's quoted because she's apparently quoted him somewhere else. But maybe this was not complete. Anyway, so I'm guessing it's James Allen. Sorry about that. The outer condition of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. That's pretty profound, and that's pretty clear. Actually, I gotta keep these on because I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to reread that a little slower. The outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. So truly, whatever is going on inside, we talk about conscious and subconscious. This is what we're talking about. Whatever's happening subconsciously, that's what you're creating in your lives. This is a really hard concept for people who are new to this to understand because it's really, really hard to accept that we're creating our reality. Like, we don't want to acknowledge that all the things going on we're somehow vibrating with. That just doesn't feel good to us. But when you accept it, then you can change what you're feeling and change your circumstances. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears. So you're going to attract things into your life that you love. So when you get into that vibration of love for something, you're going to attract that. But you're also going to attract the things that you fear. And if you fear poverty, you're going to hang out in poverty. That if you fear being alone, you're going to create aloneness. So you got to be very careful what you are fearing. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. This is the idea that you've got to become the thing that you want. You've got to become the vibration of what you want, because wanting it is just out there. You can want until you come home, but if your soul doesn't have that in it, doesn't have that profound love or that deep fear, if you don't have that inside of you, you're never going to get it. You can want it until you die. But unless you've got that as a part of you, as a part of your vibration, you're never going to have it. Okay. So this is ultimately the law of attraction. You are going to attract whatever you vibrate with. Your vibration will match the things that you are around. So you can either allow yourself to be influenced by outside sources and lower your vibration or raise them depending on what you're influencing yourselves with. Maybe there's another law that changes that one. I'm not 100% sure. That might be cause and effect. Anyway, there are a lot of ways to find out what you're really feeling. First of all, you look around your life. If your life is not what you want it to be, then you obviously are not vibrating where you want it to be. So get a vision of what you want your life to be like. Practice bringing those feelings and that experience into who you are now. Um, if you want to be in a loving relationship, you've got to feel that love now. You've got to believe that now. You've got to do belief work. Um, to a degree. You don't want to get caught up in it. I tend to get caught up in it, which isn't always good. Um, Yesterday's video, I talked about acting like who you are as a way to help you overcome like any fears of being who you feel like you are inside. Um, I also didn't acknowledge that there are some other things going on. I get a little stressed sometimes as a YouTuber and as a friend, as a person. I feel like I always have to be positive. If I'm not positive, people aren't going to watch me. If I'm not positive, I'm not going to create the life I want. If I'm not positive, I'm not going to have friends because people don't want to be around a Debbie Downer all the time. Um, if I'm not pretending to be happy even when I'm not, that's what I feel like. It's constantly a battle of pretend. I don't want you guys to be pretending all the time. What I want you to do is take steps to create that in your life. You're to change that. So I really feel like, and maybe this doesn't belong in this video or not, I don't know, but I really feel like I need to tell you guys, feel your feelings. If you are struggling because you feel like all you ever do is pretend to be happy when you're not feeling happy, first of all, people can tell. It shows up in your energy because it's not vibrating that way. You're attracting in negative things if you're not feeling positive. So you can't just pretend. But that doesn't mean you can dump on everybody. You can set up kind of an appointment with your friend or a counselor or somebody and say, okay, I need you to be my dumping ground right now. Make sure it's somebody that knows how to deal with the stuff, that they know how to not take it on as their own, that they know how to let go of it, um, because too often we dump on people and the people are like, okay, now what do I do with this? And it becomes a part of them or they just don't know how to deal with it. So make sure you're working with somebody who has the skills to take care of this stuff, which is why a counselor or healers, coaches that have the skills to take care of those emotions. So make sure that you have somebody that's not going to take it on as their own and set it up as I need time to just kind of get this stuff out and figure out what I'm doing. That's one way to do it. Another way is journaling. Journal to get those feelings out, to really acknowledge what you are feeling. It is so important to acknowledge what you are feeling. And then when you've acknowledged it, when you feel it, when you cry for a while if you need to, then and you give yourself kind of an appointment, an opportunity. It's like, okay, I'm going to really dig into what I'm feeling that's not happy so that instead of pretending in my life, I've actually got this stuff out and I've replaced it with joy and I can go out and be happy instead of pretending to be happy. Um, life goes like this. And sometimes we are happy and sometimes we're feeling bad. And yet we still want to put out happiness out into the energy because what you put out comes back to you. But that's part of what this law is what you put out comes back to you. So just because you're saying happy things doesn't mean you're putting out the happy vibration. So you've got to go in and acknowledge those feelings. You can't just cover them up. You've got to um, find ways to, like, so many people think that if they just focus on the positive, that all that stuff will just go away and you'll be focusing here. That's not a bad thought, but there are times that you have to take time and actually say, what am I feeling? Acknowledge the feelings. I'm letting them go. I'm replacing that energy with positive energy and then moving on. You don't want to dwell there. Never dwell there. It's so not good to dwell there. You don't want to get caught in the spiral that goes down, which is why it's good to set yourself an appointment. My appointment is to find out what I'm feeling so that I can let it go and so that I can replace it. Whether you do that with a healer or you do that on your own or you do it with a counselor, whatever you do, take that time as an appointment, take care of it, and move on. Because if you don't, it's just going to be festering underneath. If you're not feeling the authentic joy that you're trying to put out, you can be pretending all you want and you can be putting it out all you want, but if you've got that festering something underneath, that vibration is going out. And it's attracting back in everything that's in vibration with that. So you've got to take care of those feelings. You've got to take care of your beliefs. When you think about what it is that you want in your life, if you are not feeling like it's possible, then check in. What is going on? What about it doesn't feel possible to me? So that you can look at it and say, okay, well, is that a real truth? Is that another truth? What can I do about that truth? How can I change that feelings? How old is that feelings? Like, is that from that little girl that got told no? Go back and give that little girl lots of love and let her know that one no doesn't mean that everything's a no. So you've got to do that kind of inner work. And just don't get caught up into always doing inner work. Don't get caught up into the idea that you always have something to heal. You move forward in your life, keeping yourself at a highest vibration you can. But when you notice and you become aware that your thoughts are not positive, do what it takes to change your thoughts. When you notice that your feelings are not positive, even though you're trying to put on the happy face, if you're feeling it underneath, you need to take care of those underneath feelings because they're going out. Even if they're not going out in your words, they're going out. And that's really important. This is like the most important part of the law of vibration is that you've got to be that high vibration, not just pretend to be that vibration, but be that high vibration. The reason why yesterday's video was about pretending is because you have that person inside of you that feels a certain way. And you're not really pretending, you're just kind of trying it on so that you start getting positive feedback. So you're trying it on that part of you. And that part of you that you already know and love. And sometimes we love it so much that we're afraid of how other people will receive it. It's like kind of our treasure. And it's like, if I put that out there, then you guys are going to reject it. You guys are going to criticize it, whatever. And that's where the fear comes in. So we try it on and we try it on and we try it on until it becomes natural to just put it out there and accept whatever judgments people want to have. They're really not about us or about them. And so we just practice until we get okay with it and we get comfortable with it. So take that time. Send yourself some love. Give yourself some love. Give yourself permission to feel for a while because nothing is good or bad. Even those feelings, those hurtful feelings, they're not bad. They're part of your journey and they're needed so that you can learn from them and grow from them and have compassion for other people because you know what it feels like to have those kind of feelings. So it gives you a level of compassion that you couldn't have if you never felt that way, because it's really hard to have compassion for people when you've never experienced anything. So just tune in with yourself. What vibrations are you putting out? When you think about that vision that you have for your life, is there any part of you that doesn't believe that it will happen? That's the part that's the negative vibration that is, or the lower vibration that is not vibrating in harmony with it. So if you want that life, you've got to change that energy so that it vibrates in harmony with your life. And that's pretty much the law of attraction, law of vibration. Got a little long, but I also got a little passionate. So hopefully you won't mind that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to be who you are. You are amazing. And that real you is vibrating in there underneath the fear. So let go of the fear and become the you. And I'll see you guys next.